Jon isn't really my father's son. He's the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and my aunt Lyanna Stark. He was born in a tower in Dorne. His last name isn't really Snow. It's Sand.
He's not.
Dornish bastards are named Sand.
At the Citadel, I transcribed the High Septon's diary. He annulled Rhaegar's marriage to Alyr. He wed Rhaegar and Lyanna in a secret ceremony.
Are you certain?
It's what the High Septon wrote in his private diary. I don't know why he'd lie. Is this something you can see?
I was about to say, Bran should be able to see that.
Father, Smith.
We're gonna see Rhaegar.
Mother, maiden, crone.
Are we gonna see Rhaegar?
Stranger. I am hers, and she is mine.
Wow.
From this day until the end of my days. Robert's rebellion was built on a lie. Rhaegar didn't kidnap my aunt or rape her. He loved her.
Don't do it, Jon. And then they're gonna hook up.
And she loved him.
Don't do it. It's like I want it to happen, but that's your aunt. That's your nephew. Yo, the controversy that's gonna blow up on social media if they hook up right now. That's Jorah. Oh, Tyrion.
And Jon.
Yo, social media is going to blow the fuck up about this shit. That's your nephew. That's your aunt. I don't know how are you supposed to feel about that?
He's never been a bastard. He's the heir to the Iron Throne.
The fact that they revealed it as they're hooking up, like, I think they're purposely trying to make you make a decision about it in your head. Are you conflicted or are you not? That's the main question. Like, what are y'all? Are you conflicted about that or are you not? Like Cersei used to try to make an excuse for her and Jaime. Targaryens wed brothers and sisters all the time. But it's been pushed in our face.
Strange.
It's been pushed in our face.
In his own horrible way, I believe he loved me.
Since season 1, episode 1, that incest shit is no go.
You did the right thing. You did it.
And then all the way back around,
I'm just the executioner.
it happens again. There's no more Littlefinger behind Sansa. That's so crazy.
In winter, we must protect ourselves.
That's been going on forever.
Look after one another.
Years and years of her growing up, Littlefinger was there. Grooming her.
The snows fall and the white winds.
There it is.
The lone wolf dies. Like a pack smiles.
That trailer quote that everyone was trying to interpret. Did it mean Sansa died? Does it mean Jon died? Does that mean Littlefinger dies and the family stays together? Like, give me more Bran. More Bran. We need more. We haven't had any White Walkers or Night Kings. Is he gonna have a vision of them at the? But he said he sees the past and what's happening now. Doesn't see future. I don't know if he just left that out, but if what's happening right now is, oh my God, here it is. A lot of people kept talking about that. Can't the Night King just freeze the water and walk around? I don't think it's that easy. He's got to go through the wall. Torment, y'all gotta get the fuck out of there. Torment's there, Barrack's there. Gendry might be there too.
It's a long way down. Yeah. Crows keep telling me I'll get used to it.
Oh my god, they're there. Oh no. Y'all have to get the fuck out of there. Retreat immediately. Oh, shit. Wall's coming down right here. There's 4 minutes left. Wall's coming down. Night King's gonna be on Viserion and burn that shit down. Blue flames, calling it. People are saying, does it blow ice or fire? I think it blows blue flames. Why are you still up there? Giants. My god, he's got everybody. Hundreds of thousands. He's gonna come in on that dragon, I flippin' know it. There it is. Oh, oh, oh. That blue flame looked amazing. Oh my god, that shot right there. He's just gonna keep doing run-bys and run-bys until that thing cracks. Oh my god, that shot, that looks amazing. We've seen 2 people ride a dragon. Dany and the Night King. The wall's coming down. Jesus. Tormund escaped last week. I don't see him getting out of this. That's all you need. You don't have to take the whole wall down, just a section. Now you march right to the other side. Wow. Hundreds of thousands. Wow. Season 7 has come to a close. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy. I really hope it's not till 2019 that we get to see the rest of that. Absolutely insane. Can we just go ahead and talk about that shot right there? We've got some. I mean, a lot of people keep saying, "Where's Ghost? Where are the direwolves?" That's where the budget went. The dragon scenes, we've gotten 3 battle dragon scenes this episode. This season. And I think this is the most season we've seen the dragons. They're easy to animate when they're that small, like when she had them in the beginning, but we got them, or the Dothraki fight, seeing the dragon animated, blowing all that fire. We got to see when she took it north of the wall. The shots that they get with those shots look amazing. That right there, like the blue flame it was so blinding. Like it was so strong and it looked amazing. That was my prediction. When the season 7 trailers were coming out, there was a fan art. Someone drew a fan. They put HBO on it, but HBO denied that they put out this photo. It was a fan art. Someone had the Night King sitting on top of a dragon, like riding the dragon just like he was, sitting on top of the wall, and the dragon was blowing out this blue flame. And that's what I figured was going to happen. We were going to lose a dragon. He was going to get it, and he was going to use the dragon to burn down the wall. So it looks like, did Bran being touched do anything to affect that wall? Because was the wall able to be burned down because Bran already passed, so that made the wall weak enough to be burnt? Or Bran being touched or not, Dragonfire is bringing that thing down. I don't know. You guys would have to think. Let me know what you think about that. But that shot was absolutely amazing, insane. And I'm so glad that we got Bran, but I want more. Like, I want an episode of just that. People coming to talk to Bran, Vision in and out of a Vision, talking to Bran, like letting all these stories go is crazy. We saw Rhaegar Targaryen this episode. Crazy. I mean, we didn't get like a close-up shot, but I mean, we saw him from the side. Saw Lyanna again. Saw young Ned. So Jon's name, they named him Aegon. I don't know what's Aegon's relationship to Rhaegar. Not the Mad King's name wasn't Aegon, was it? That was the Maesters at the Night's Watch brothers. Was he the Mad King? Or was that the grand? I don't know. I'm not sure. That stuff gets really. I got to go back and look at names, but absolutely great. We'll come back to that. Let's start from the beginning of the episode. Where did I start these notes at? Here. The first thing that popped in my head when the episode started: how did Grey Worm get out of Casterly Rock? I'm guessing Euron never attacked Casterly Rock. He only attacked Dany's fleet, I'm guessing. He wasn't going after Grey Worm and the Unsullied. He was just going to burn down the fleet. But we never saw how Grey Worm got out of that. How did the Unsullied get back? How did they ferry all them out? Because we saw Dany only come in on 4 ships. I mean, her fleet is non-existent. That's why the Dothraki and everything, I mean, it'd be easier for them to travel on the King's Road up to Winterfell instead of going by sea, but I just would have liked to see how they got out of that. Give me something. So that was one of the big question marks. A lot of people are talking about like the time trend, how people are just teleporting this season. I haven't had a problem with anything, but that right there, I wish we would have gotten some kind of explanation on that. How did they escape? I got that, and then it was crazy enough seeing everyone called them the Avengers. The 7 we had go beyond the wall with Jon and Gendry, the Hound, etc., etc. But seeing everybody meet up in King's Landing right there was crazy. How many people did we have in the same shot? We had the Hound, the Mountain, Brienne, Podrick, Tyrion, Bronn, Jaime, Cersei, Missandei, Davos, Jon, Euron was in the same shot. I'm sure I'm forgetting so many more names, but like all the major pieces in Game of Thrones, minus Sansa and Arya and the ones up north, were in one shot together, exchanging words with one another. It's crazy when you see all that and you've watched it for so long, and then for them to finally, like, I mean, the show's coming to an end, so to see all those pieces come together was absolutely insane. When that White busted out of that box, I really thought Cersei had a come to Jesus meeting. And she kind of did, but she didn't have a come to Jesus meeting for everybody else's safety. She only cared about her child. And that's how she's been since the very beginning. She's only cared about her children. That's been it. We'll talk about the Cersei stuff at the end. Seeing them all on one screen, seeing Tyrion and Bronn interact. Bronn actually said he was glad to see him after Tyrion said it. That was good to see. The Hound in the Mountain. What was that about the Hound in the beginning? Clearly, I don't think Sir Gregor speaks anymore. But it made it seem like, I don't know if I'm reading too far into this. You guys let me know what you think. It made it seem like the Hound said that to the Mountain, and maybe the Mountain didn't burn his little brother because he was playing with his toys. It made it seem like maybe the Mountain had a vision, saw something in the flames, and freaked out and took it out on the Hound, and that's why he got burned. Because it made it seem like the Hound has had another vision. He said, "You always knew how you were going to die." Or maybe I'm reading too far into that. You guys let me know what you think about that. I thought that was really interesting. I don't know what to really make about that. That Dany entrance was one of the greatest entrances I think we've ever had in Game of Thrones. We really haven't had any too dramatic entrances. Seeing Euron show up to King's Landing and all his ships was pretty dramatic. There's been a couple others. The Dothraki riding into battle this season was pretty, like, an amazing shot. But seeing her come in and everyone's like face, because Cersei hasn't seen a dragon, and a couple others, it was pretty interesting. You're like, what? Where did Euron come off of thinking that, like, him and Theon's arguments was more important than what was going on there? Even Cersei had to reel his ass back in. I thought that was pretty interesting. All of it was just crazy, but I thought the White that they captured and brought there was pretty convincing. Everybody seemed to be convinced to me. I would have been convinced. That's the first time Brienne has seen it. Her ass was shocked. And I really did. I thought Euron was being serious when he said, "I'm just going to take the ships and go." I was like, damn, that's kind of, because I thought he was going to do that. Theon would have to infiltrate the Iron Islands, free Yara. Like, that's where I saw that story kind of going. But then, I know I'm skipping ahead here, but then seeing Cersei saying, "Did you think Euron really betrayed me?" And she's like, "I never let anybody walk away from me." He's going to pick up all the gold cloaks over there in Essos, and I didn't see that coming at all. I thought that was pretty good. And when Jon got up to talk in front of everybody, when he was burning the hand of the White and stabbing with the dragon glass and talking about how he doesn't go back on his word and how he already pledged, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but he sounded exactly like Ned. Maybe they did it on purpose. It was really great. Cersei, she's gonna be the death of Jaime, pretty much. I mean, we already saw it. I thought that we'll do Cersei and Tyrion right now. I really thought, and I mentioned it when I was reacting to it. I don't know if I'm gonna include it in the review, but I thought Tyrion was gonna die right there. I thought she would finally kill him, because what purpose does Tyrion serve to the main goal, which is defeating what's coming from the north? Unless Tyrion is secretly a Targaryen, like Tywin did, have sex with the Targaryen, and Tyrion really is, and he's supposed to be like, he's supposed to ride a dragon, but there's no more dragon for Tyrion to ride. The Night King has one, Dany has one. The other one's going to be for Jon. I could have seen him dying right there, and Daenerys being without her hand and losing a dragon. That'd have been crazy. So I thought that was close, but I'm like, okay, he didn't kill him. I 100% really thought Jaime was dying right there. 100% thought Jaime was dying. When she gave the command to I thought the Mountain was gonna kill him. But then I guess if you really look at it and you didn't get captured in the moment of the scene, you kind of think if Jaime dies there, where and when does Cersei die? Who kills her? Dany, Jon, and everybody up north dies, and the Night King comes down, kills Cersei, and that's the end of the story. Like, where it would have had to been something like, I think it's almost 99% confirmed. Jaime's going to be the one to kill Cersei. I don't think she's going to give birth to another child. Like it was stated when she went to go see the witch or the sorcerer or whatever in the woods with Elia Martell. She's only going to have 3 kids. She's had her 3 kids. They died. I don't think the kid she has now, if she really has this kid, maybe a lot of people were thinking maybe she was just saying she had a kid to trick Jaime into being loyal to her, but she admitted it to Tyrion, so I'm going to take it as she probably is pregnant. I don't think she ever delivers that kid. I think Jaime kills her and probably kills himself too in the process. But I really thought both of them were going to die right there. Really, really did. That was great. Like they convinced the shit out of me. And the Tyrion and Cersei scene was really good. She actually like listened to him. It looked like she kind of felt sympathetic for him for a moment there. But when Tyrion got in her face and was like, I killed your mom, I killed your dad, I even helped kill your children. He's like, if you want to kill me, go ahead. And seeing like the look on her face and the look on his face, and Tyrion like taking a deep breath and going to get wine I thought it was a really, really impactful scene. And when Jaime's there planning things, you just told everybody. I mean, I said this when I reacted to it. There's no way Cersei goes along with this plan so easily. You just come back out after talking to Tyrion. All of a sudden, you're for the living side. You pledge the Lannister armies, and you're going to call all your bannermen and march them north. I was like, there's no way I believe that. And when her ass came out and told Jaime, asked him what he was doing, you really think I'm going to send our forces up there? They're going to take back everything that Dany's taken as soon as she marches north? I'm like, I don't understand. Her reasoning is going to be, she noticed it. Dany did only show up with 2 dragons. So one of them died, clearly. She's under the impression that maybe Dany will, if Dany wins, maybe she'll lose her dragons, lose a bunch of her forces. And by the time she comes back down to take the rest of it, there won't be anything. Dany's not going to be that big of a threat. She might have 1 dragon left, maybe none. Half the Dothraki will be gone, probably almost all the Unsullied. What does she really have to take it back with? But then my thing is, what do you plan to do if the dead win? Just because you have paid off gold cloaks and some Lannister soldiers, what's your plan if Dany and Jon lose to the dead? All those Dothraki are now raised back. The Night King now has 3 dragons. Like, I didn't see her reasoning. The only way what she's doing makes sense is if Dany and Jon win. If they win, but at the expense, the Northern Army is just decimated, the Dothraki are cut in half, maybe even 25% left, she loses another dragon, then I can see, okay, if Dany comes back, you have a valid point. But you're asking for a lot to happen, and I'm with Jaime. You gave your word. But what is Cersei's word, really? This has been her game the whole time. She always reverts back to, you never listened to father and what he taught and how to play the game, and it was absolutely crazy. Seeing Littlefinger die, I mean, it needed to happen. We were all waiting for it. That was the one major death we had this episode. But I gotta say, I forget the actor's name. Hats off to him. Hats off to the character that is Littlefinger. That was one of the greatest characters in the whole 7 seasons of the show. He everything that has happened to this point, minus the White Walkers up north. Not everything, because he didn't start the war and bringing the Targaryens over and conquering. Everything up to what we've seen in the show has been because of him. And they called it all out here on the show. So that was my thing that I was saying a couple episodes back. Why doesn't Bran sit down in a room with Arya and Sansa and tell them everything that Littlefinger's done? I don't know if that's what the whole build-up and conflict was with Arya and Sansa in the beginning. But I was waiting for that. Like, come on, you're going to let these two go at each other's throats. And, like, to see him break down, because he always has a way out of things. The only other time I've seen Littlefinger that scared or nervous was when Cersei surrounded him in King's Landing with some of the gold cloaks. She's like, maybe I'll tell them to kill you, and they went to kill him. And she's like, maybe I'll tell them to stand down, and they stood down. He looked really scared there. That's the really only other time I've seen him scared, but he got called out for everything. He's the one that killed King Robert's hand. He got Ned killed. He killed Lysa Arryn. He sold Sansa off. Like, he did all these things, and it finally came back. But I'm gonna have to look up the actor's name. A great run, great character. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say like that. He was one of the greatest players in the game. A season 1 character lost right there. It was just really, really great to see. Got a couple more notes here. This was right before Littlefinger died. Because I thought I really thought right there that Arya was gonna have to fight her way out of that. Until I saw Sansa sitting with Bran, I kind of knew that like they're not gonna kill Arya right here. I thought Winterfell had gone to complete shit. You've got Sansa and Arya about to kill each other, and this was before, so I think Winterfell's okay. I think Sansa's just gonna keep holding it for Jon. There's no more Littlefinger in her ear. Littlefinger has been puppeting Sansa along since she arrived in King's Landing, pretty much since Ned died. He was in her ear at the first jousting tournament. He was in her ear when she was married to or supposed to be married to Joffrey, and all the way around to the Boltons, all the way to Lysa, and back to Winterfell, and to see Sansa finally by herself without that in her ear was pretty crazy. Theon and Jon, that was a nice scene. Theon was kind of like breaking down, and he was kind of getting that Reek vibe of like everything he does is wrong, and Jon always makes the right decision, because Theon used to be a prick back in the day. He would only take commands from Ned. Robb would try to give him a command. He said, I only take commands from your father. Jon would try to say things from him. He'd always call him a snow or a bastard and all this shit. And to see him finally like open up and commit to Jon was nice. And to see Theon win that fight when that guy went to knee him in the balls and stuff, but he doesn't have any balls. It's been all cut off. That was pretty funny to see. But my thing is, like Cersei said, I thought Theon goes, infiltrates the Iron Islands, either freeze Yara in the process and they both make it out and kill Euron, or maybe Theon and Euron kill each other and Yara comes out and she kind of rallies the rest of the Iron Islands back and they go help the fight with everyone else, or maybe they escape and Yara dies in the process, but Euron does, and they bring something where the Greyjoys end up back in the fold. But if Euron's going to Essos, I don't think he's dumb enough to just stash Yara on the Iron Islands. She's probably on the bottom of one of his ships, so that should be interesting. And speaking of Yara, do you think we'll ever see what's happening at the Sand Snakes in the dungeon? I don't think we ever probably will, but I would like to see her get released, or what's happening to the daughter, how she's decaying. We probably won't ever see that again, though. Cersei shocking me, how she came back around. What else do we have here? Snow falling. There was when Jaime was riding. Where do you think Jaime rides to? Does he ride to Dragonstone and try to catch a ride with everyone else? He's not bringing any I mean, Jaime commands the armies, but if the queen says stand down, they're going to stand down. So Jaime shows up, say he ends up in Winterfell or he goes to Dragonstone or wherever. Is he just going to say, hey, my sister's really not honoring her pledge. As soon as you guys march north, she's coming back in. Does Dany leave a reserve army behind? Do the armies actually march with Jaime? You guys let me know what you think is going to happen with that. And what do the Gold Cloaks serve? Or are we really going to have a north and south battle going on at the same time? Because if Euron's really going to get the Gold Cloaks and they come, and she still has the Lannister armies down there, do you think they abandon her and the only one she's left with in King's Landing is like her, the Mountain, and Qyburn, and all the forces, the Gold Cloaks and everything go north? Or do you think they start pillaging and picking off and taking Dragonstone and take back Highgarden and Castle Rock and blah, 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 all this stuff? I'm interested to see what happened with that. A couple more notes here. Bran says he only, I don't know, maybe, does anybody else think or thought that Bran does see the future or what might happen or what needs to happen? Because a lot of people thought, why did Bran give that dagger to Arya? I mean, he really does have no purpose for it. Did he give it to her because he saw Arya was going to be killing Littlefinger with it? So here, take this. Did he give it to Arya because he saw Arya was going to stab and kill the Night King with it. Arya was going to give it to Jon to kill the Night King with it. All these kind of things. But Bran, maybe it's been stated and they just didn't mention it, and I'm looking into it. He says, I can see everything that's happened and everything that's happening right now. He didn't say what's happening in the future. So is it knowledge? Is it known that I just don't know that Bran cannot see the future? He doesn't know how this war will end. I don't know. I always thought he could see past, present, and future. And there, he doesn't see the future. And the biggest question is going to be, where are you on this? Another incest scenario. Dany and Jon hooking up. A lot of people think that Jon is going to be able to break that. It's not really a curse. I mean, she's unbarren. She can't have kids. But people saying maybe since Jon's come back to life and there's all these kind of magics and dragon and everything going on, Jon's going to be able to get her pregnant and have heirs and have kids and all that kind of stuff. But where are you on the Jon and Dany thing? Because a lot of people, it's like a 50-50 split. A lot of people are like, I ship them, I love them, I want them together. I don't care about the aunt and nephew thing, blah, 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 all this stuff. And a lot of people are like, how can you be so disgusted by Cersei and Jaime, but you want Dany and Jon to fuck each other? Like, you can't have it both ways. I don't know how I feel about it. They don't know about it. Them personally don't know about it, but the show is I think the show is doing it on purpose. It's making you think, like, how do you feel about this? Are you okay with them having, do you want them to have kids? Because Cersei like I said earlier, Cersei used to use this as her excuse. She said Targaryens used to wed brother and sister all the time to keep the bloodlines pure. When she would talk to, I think she talked to Ned about that in season 1. And she was using that. Is that her excuse? Is it because it's a Targaryen thing, people are going to accept it? I have absolutely no idea. You guys let me know what you think about that. How I feel about it is, I have to see how they react when Jon and Dany find out about Jon's true heritage. If they react about it and they're like, fuck it, we've already done it, Dany's pregnant, all this kind of shit, and they just keep going with it, that, I mean, people love Jaime, so I mean, they're okay with it in some regards. I'm just, I don't know. It's like the incest thing has been thrown in our face since episode 1. When Bran gets kicked out of the window, pushed out. And you know what was crazy to me, now that we're talking about this whole thing? Sam was the one who had to tell Bran about, no, Rhaegar had an annulment. He really got married to your aunt. Jon wasn't a sand, because he was like really depressed about it. He was like, yeah, like when he was telling Sam the story, he's like, yeah, Jon's not a Snow. He's a bastard from the South, and that's all he had to say about it. And as soon as it's like he changed the TV on a channel, Bran immediately went back to that exact point in time and saw them get married and revealed his real name and all that kind of stuff. I feel like, Bran, you got to be on top of this stuff, man. You think he would have dove more into that? Where did Rhaegar and Lyanna meet up? How to, like, blah, 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 all this stuff. And that's what I'm saying is, we need more Bran knowledge. We need more Bran. Like, give me more Bran. That's what I want. But I can already see it right now. People's comment sections on all the major YouTubers that react to it. I can see the back and forth right now. Ew, how can you have moral high, like, you hate Cersei and Jaime, but you're okay with Dany and Jon having sex with each other, and there's going to be other people like, oh, I absolutely love it, I don't care, they're so great together. Where I fall on it is, I need to see how they react when Bran tells them. The very first thing I want to happen next season, within the first episode, within the first or second episode, I need Bran, Dany, and Jon in a room. At least those 3. Bring everybody else. Put Sansa, put flippin' Lord Royce, put everybody in a room, but I need Bran in a room telling everybody everything. Maybe Bran even comes around and tells everyone that Jaime's not that bad of a guy for stabbing the Mad King. Why did it, like, I need that. That's what I want the most. And season 8's coming up, and the White Walkers have officially passed the wall. Speaking of that, how Tormund gets out of that, I have absolutely no idea, because we saw him trapped on the wall. Even if he scales his way down, there's now armies like infested around you. Do you somehow infiltrate your way around that and sneak to Winterfell? Or are you going to be surrounded and just kind of, I don't know how him and Barristan, not Barristan Selmy, Barrack get out of that. It should be real interesting, and there's just a lot that happens. I just hope that next season, first of all, I hope it's in 2018. Can't wait for that. Because we have to wait 2 years. That's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a long wait, and it's over. What I want to happen is, because it's Game of Thrones, we've been so conditioned to like whatever you like doesn't end up that way. People die, everything dies. I don't want it would be twisted as fuck if the Night King wins and everything just gets destroyed. Jon, Dany, everybody dies, and that's how the show ends. But I would like to see them really like march their way down, like take out Winterfell, take out everything on your way down, and have it end at like King's Landing or something. Like I really just want to see like destruction of things, like people dying. Like we lose a couple Starks, maybe we lose maybe both like something big happens, and because if everyone that's alive now survives and we only lose like one more dragon and the Night King doesn't make it further down than Winterfell and they kind of stop them right there, it's kind of like that was anticlimactic. I want to see like big. I mean, you guys shocked me with the dragons. The CGI and everything looked great. I want to see like you guys really march your way down, like take out everything and make it end at King's Landing or something like in the Reach area. Like give me something, but we're going on and on. I'm probably going to put out probably next weekend just a whole season 7 summary. So if you guys are interested in that, check out for that. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Going to try to get one video, the first half of the episode, up tonight, maybe up by 1 or 12 a.m. You guys won't even see this because this is going to be on part 2 and yada yada yada. But Game of Thrones, what a ride! Great episode. That ending scene, man. The end, the CGI and everything was absolutely great. But let me know what you guys thought of the season. Any questions? Where do you fall on that Dany and Jon line? And let me know. Like, share, favorite, subscribe. And as always,